Hello, young artists. I think today is going to be a fun one. Today we're talking about Matryoshka dolls, also known as babushka dolls, and these are Russian nesting dolls. And by nesting dolls, I mean these are little wooden dolls where there's a little tiny one on the inside, and then there's a bigger one that fits over that tiny one, and a bigger one that fits over the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And they all fit together. They usually break apart in the middle, and usually they're made out of wood and painted very decoratively with flowers and polka dots and little lacy elements. And they're always of women with sort of head wraps on. So we are going to make 3 Matryoshka dolls right here. And I used watercolor and Sharpie and scissors and a glue stick for this project, and I had a really good time. So what I would like for you in this project is I would like you to make a colorful background. I would like you to make 3 Matryoshka dolls, and I would like each Matryoshka doll to be a slightly different size. I would like one biggest one, a middle one, and a small one. Granted, I didn't do that well for this part of the project because my smallest Matryoshka doll looks about the same as my middle Matryoshka doll. Hopefully you guys will forgive me for that. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, friends, so today we're gonna do Matryoshka dolls. I'm starting with the head, and I'm going right to the top here because I wanna make this one my biggest Matryoshka doll. They're Russian nesting dolls, so they fit all together. And I made some mistakes here, and that's always why I draw in pencil first. But then I have the bottom of the doll where it sort of rests. Now I'm doing a smaller one on this side, making a little bit wider just because I wanted to. I thought it would look better a little bit wider. And this is supposed to be my littlest one. I wish I made it a little bit smaller. Maybe it's my medium. Yeah, it's my littlest one. But I should have made it a tiny bit smaller. I probably should have put them in order. But now I am tracing my whole doll with Sharpie, this whole shape that I made, and I'm sort of doing where I want to put the lines. I'm putting them there instead of just following my pencil lines, because I can always go and erase my pencil lines. That won't really be a problem. So now I'm finishing up with erasing all of the pencil lines that I have on my Matryoshka dolls, and pretty soon I'm going to be drawing a circle inside of their heads to make their faces. We sort of want the Matryoshka dolls to look like they're wearing sort of scarves over their heads, like their heads are covered. So I'm putting a circle in the middle of my head here, and this is where our Matryoshka doll's face is going to show, and she'll have a little bit of hair and eyes and lips, and then some red cheeks to go in there. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna put some eyes in here. I just do 2 like frowny lines and then 2 circles under that for the eyes, and upturned nose. And my lips, I'm just drawing a smile line and then the lips right kind of in the middle of that smile line, and then I'm doing a hairline. You don't have to do the hairline. You see some with the hairline, some without. But I'm doing the face the same for all my Matryoshka dolls because you kind of think if they're at the set, they're going to be sort of similar. But then I end up being able to go kind of crazy with all the designs on my Matryoshka dolls, so they end up being really different in the end. A lot of these Matryoshka dolls are very decorative, so I'm putting sort of a lacy edge around the face of my Matryoshka dolls. I think it'll look good, and it'll add some of that texture, add some different sort of features to this artwork, and just make it a little bit more detailed. So I'm doing those. I think I do them on all of my Matryoshka dolls here. All right, I'm getting to work on my patterns that I have on the bottom. And there are all sorts of different patterns. I would go for sort of closed patterns because it's supposed to be like they're wearing clothes. You wouldn't really see faces on this pattern, but a lot of flowers and lace and just the way like capes would come together and things like that. Lots of different shapes. Here I'm putting the flowers. So I would like you to do your own designs. Don't just copy my designs. You all know how to do patterns, lots of different patterns, and I trust that you'll be able to do this just fine. So I'm excited to see that. This is a little, I guess, skirt that she's got with stripes, got the flowers, and now I think I'm going to do some more sort of lacy decorative clothing over here. You can see here I did some sort of symmetrical curls curling into each other. I'm going to do this in the background too, and it adds that decorative effect that I like. So if you want to do the curls on some of the clothing, I think swirls and curls and all that makes it very nice and sort of fun and decorative. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab my watercolor set, and I'm going to color these really nice and bright with my watercolors. So that will take a while. Do whatever colors you want. I don't care what colors you do, but I am going to try to make this as colorful as I can really make it. This next part I'll probably speed up even a little bit more than I have it sped up right now. You all know how to watercolor. The real idea is that I want it to be nice and neat, and I want you to take your time with it. So even though I'm going to speed up this video, this doesn't mean that you have to speed it up in your own life, because, you know, I'm going slow actually here, but it just seems a lot faster because I'm speeding it up. Alright, so I'm setting that aside and I'm going to get a piece of paper to work on my background. I'm going to do these same big symmetrical swirls. Just a reminder that symmetry is when things are the same on both sides. You do not have to do this background. I thought it made it look fancy, nice, decorative. So you can do a similar background too. I don't want you to copy my project exactly. I never love that. If you didn't know, I'd prefer you to do your own styles. But this background, I think, looks nice. And I think you could do the swirly background. Make a background of lines, I would say. Do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my watercolors out. And I'm going to paint this in while my actual dolls are drying. Okay, so now that that's almost done, I'm going to set it aside to dry once I'm all finished, and I'll wait maybe 20 minutes so that my Matryoshka dolls and that are fully dry, and then I'll start putting them together. So now I have them here and they're nice and dry, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out my Matryoshka dolls. Easy peasy. Now that I have my Matryoshka dolls all cut out, I'm gonna go ahead and glue them. And I'm starting with, I think, my smallest one. I try to do a small one, a medium one, and a tall one. And that's gonna be one of my expectations for you, even though I didn't really do that well with its expectation because two of them really look the same size. But depending on where I place them on the paper, I can do that. I sort of try to decide if I wanna put that one in the front. I'm gonna move that one over a little bit because I didn't give myself enough space for the other two. So now I'm doing my middle one. I actually switched them up in the beginning. I should have made it more evident which one was taller, but I can make this one look a little bit taller by putting it right here, even a tiny bit above my other Matryoshka doll. And finally, I'm gonna put the big one on the paper. And then it sort of looks like they would all be nested together, stacking them up so they get taller and taller. And I think this project came out pretty cute. I really like how colorful it is. And I really hope that you all enjoy it as well. So, thanks for watching towards the end, guys, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.